Jay-Z is reportedly trying to distance himself from any connection to Diddy's ongoing investigation, especially now that Netflix has confirmed the release of 50 Cent's new documentary next week. Early reports suggest the film may raise questions about several industry figures, including Jay-Z, though the nature of that material hasn't been confirmed. At the same time, new leaked footage said to be from inside a federal facility and allegedly showing Diddy has begun circulating online, adding even more attention to an already intense situation.
Sean Combs' The Reckoning is hitting Netflix on December 2nd. 50 Cent captioned it, "They said I was capping. What happened?" And it's been so long at this point, I thought maybe he was really just joking and this documentary wasn't happening, but obviously I was wrong. Because this is actually official. Not only is 50 Cent just posting this, so he's not trolling, it's being confirmed by multiple media outlets. And I have a feeling right now Diddy is sweating about what 50 Cent is about to put in this documentary. You know, 50 Cent's connection when it came to the Diddy trial. Not only that, we cannot forget during this Diddy trial, it was alleged that Diddy wanted to off 50 Cent. 50 Cent stays trolling Diddy, so I am afraid that he is probably about to drag Diddy for filth in this documentary. It's about to be so bad. This is going to be a documentary that I'm going to watch just because I want to see how 50 Cent actually puts together this documentary.
Soon, after Diddy's arrest in September 2024, 50 Cent revealed plans to collaborate with Netflix on a documentary exploring his perspective on Diddy's career and controversies. According to reports, the project draws on material 50 Cent has gathered over the past 2 decades. The documentary is said to examine the people and events around Diddy, aiming to give viewers a deeper look behind the headlines.
Speaking of, in particular, Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle. You weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way he would present the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it. Just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z? That
was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going with, like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that
his documentary series isn't about the current gossip or headlines, but instead aims to explore the inner workings of Diddy's business dealings. Reports suggest that some of the material featured in the series has drawn attention from authorities, contributing to renewed interest in the ongoing investigation.
Combs now facing new allegations, this time from a man in Florida. According to ABC News, investigators in L.A. received a report from a police department in Florida where the alleged victim lives, and now they are working on the case. Eyewitness News anchor Mike Marza in the newsroom with the very latest details. Mike.
Well, David, here's what we know. The new allegations of sexual assault against Sean Diddy Combs come from a music producer who went to police in Florida, but the alleged crimes happened in Los Angeles. Jonathan Hay is his name. That's the person who filed the complaint, and he's one of the John Does that filed the civil lawsuit against Combs in July. The first alleged incident was in September of 2020 in L.A. Hay alleging that Combs performed sex acts in front of him and asked for oral sex. In a second incident, in 2021, Hay claims that C.J. Wallace, the son of the rapper Notorious B.I.G., took him to a location where 2 men put something over his head, he says, before Combs forced himself on Hay several times. Combs is currently serving out a sentence in Fort Dix, New Jersey, following his conviction earlier this year on 2 prostitution-related charges. Combs' representatives have not yet responded to this lawsuit.
These new claims add to a long list of ongoing civil cases involving Diddy, Legal experts note that high-profile investigations like this can have far-reaching consequences. Jay-Z, as a longtime associate, is often mentioned in discussions about Diddy's network, and questions remain about how connections between witnesses and other figures could emerge during the proceedings.
Negative stuff around Jay-Z right now, which is clearly damaging to him.
Yeah, and I think there's like a famous quote from someone who was acquitted, and he said, all right, where do I go to get my reputation back?
Right.
I mean, social media was a light. Beyonce's next, Jay-Z's next, all the people in the inner circle is next.
Yeah, and the problem is there are just so many pictures of the two of them partying together, and he clearly was at a lot of Diddy parties.
How powerful was Jay-Z when you were doing business with him? Was he already a power player where if he wanted to ruin someone's life or make somebody a star, he could do it?
I met Jay-Z and I signed to Rock Nation. I didn't want to drip myself in blood and cover myself and swim in goop, in black goop, and fucking like wear devil horns to fucking sell a record. That, or be a witch, or be that, all of that.
Academics responded to the recent Netflix announcement, highlighting 50 Cent's extensive research and material for the documentary. Many observers are overlooking that Diddy was previously arrested on serious charges, though only he faced conviction in certain aspects of the case. This discrepancy has sparked widespread questions about how the legal outcomes were determined.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought he was trolling because I do think 50 is a guy to kick you when you're down, and Diddy did seem like he was down for a long time. Pause. And I thought 50 was just trying to kick his back in. It was clear that 50 wanted him to go to jail for a lengthy time, maybe for the rest of his life. And I've said personally, I really think that 50 wanted him to go to jail because he was fucking his baby moms. You get what I'm saying? And that's what that is. However, it looks like 50 wasn't playing around when he had announced from back in the day that, he was going to create at that time he called it the Diddy Do It doc. And he said he was going to do it and, all pun intended, he said he was going to do the doc and put it out with Netflix. And it appears that he wasn't capping. Netflix has actually put out a press release. Variety and other outlets picked it up. And they have announced that there is a release date, December 2nd, which is the Netflix documentary series from the executive producer, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. And it is called Sean Combs' The Reckoning. It's going to only be on Netflix. And yes, 50 is the executive producer. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a huge power move by 50. Now, I love 50, so we're not going to get into certain stuff, but 50 doesn't have the cleanest history. Sometimes I feel like when they go for these type of docs, the Surviving R. Kellys, they go for the most woke person to present the doc because you kind of need somebody to soapbox. With all due respect, I'm not saying 50 had freak-offs and shit like that, but 50 is 50 Cent, bro. You know what I mean? It's like 50 Cent isn't the most model human being. Not saying he's been accused or he does stuff that Diddy does, but 50 is 50.
Reports indicate that footage recovered during the investigation included several high-profile figures, though not all were implicated legally. As more material comes to light, observers continue to speculate about the connections between Diddy and other industry names. Sources also say that Diddy is cooperating with authorities as the investigation moves forward, providing information as requested by law enforcement.
Always been the type of individual that want to have ups on the next person no matter what they was doing. He did the stuff to Ja Rule so he could go after Jay-Z. They not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them, and they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. Until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here. Hey, buddy, we got you on this tape, and girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love. That's when they're gonna start talking. And they're not gonna be talking in his favor. 250 cameras all over the house? Somebody got caught stealing a cookie out the cookie jar. When you that powerful, you didn't get that powerful without having 1 or 2 or maybe 3 ups on somebody.
So now we have 2 people come out saying that Diddy was talking to the feds. Do you think that's true?
Whether it's true or not, and he might have been cooperative in some way, shape, or form, you don't get away with human trafficking. anything unless you give up John Gotti or something like that. And that's not what happened here. I can tell you, Jesse, that this investigation's been going on for a long time, very closely held by HSI, so much so that even some of the agents on the raid a week ago today didn't know whose house they were raiding until they got there. That's how closely held this
Wow, because there could have been a tip.
Absolutely.
And there are allegations that he was paying law enforcement through his chief of security, which also happened to be Michael Jackson's chief of security.
I don't know if I buy into that. You know, people in Diddy's situation like to have those involved in law enforcement close to them. But that doesn't mean they're taking payoffs. That doesn't mean they're doing big favors. They like that closeness. It's just like how Diddy was able to court Diageo or Estee Lauder. He was very successful in doing that, and that made him a lot of money and gave him credibility outside the hip-hop rap world. And that's what he was trying to do here, a lot like what Epstein did with very powerful political...
He maintained a close working relationship with federal authorities, suggesting this may have influenced how certain investigations unfolded. According to his account, Diddy's perceived protection came less from industry power and more from his cooperation with officials. If those claims are accurate, it would explain why he remained a valuable source for federal investigators. Now, some commentators believe that any information he provides could shift attention toward other high-profile figures, including Jay-Z, depending on what investigators pursue next.
That's a confidential informant. They'll let you do crimes long as you don't do no and stuff like that. They'll let you go around and pay you to protect them. You understand? To protect him. We had a lot of people on the payroll when we was doing security. Somebody might have this first 10 hours, that 10 hours, or whatever. He was paying law enforcement. He had a budget for law enforcement. Now, if something goes wrong, those people got friends in certain places. Then plus he tells his handler, yo, can you make this go away for me? I'll give you this and that. Now, that could be a lot of speculations or whatever like that. But why would you have or be working for a FBI agent if you're not an informant? Why? So when you got that kind of money, you could hire people to make a lot of things go away for you. Like you hire lawyers. Those lawyers have police officers and people working for them and investigators. Those investigators were former officers. So all of them in the backyard in Diddy bed together.
Reports suggest that Diddy's legal team is exploring options that could lead to an early release. TMZ noted that discussions about potential clemency or a pardon are underway, with some speculation that he could be released as soon as December. The situation continues to evolve as authorities review his case and any ongoing cooperation.
Diddy could be a free man by the end of this week. We broke a story last night that Donald Trump is seriously considering commuting his sentence. And there has been a lot of fallout with our story.
By the way, commuting his sentence before he's even in a prison.
Right.
He's still at Brooklyn MDC waiting to find out which prison he's going to. But this is something that President Trump is considering. And the fact that he's considering it is causing a bit of an internal war at the White House because not everybody in the administration thinks this is a good idea.
So we are told this, and this is coming from somebody high up in the White House. We broke that story, incidentally, that right after the sentencing, his legal team, Diddy's legal team, got in touch with somebody who had the president's ear, and that the president was looking at the paperwork.
And the president acknowledged that
like 2 days later.
Yeah, in the Oval Office.
2 days later. Yeah. So we now know that Trump is considering. We're told that he's kind of waffling. He's going back and forth on this, but there are staffers in the White House telling him, don't.
50 Cent has publicly expressed determination to hold high-profile figures accountable. especially after reports suggested Diddy might pursue an early release. Some sources claimed he considered contacting officials about the potential pardon, though that reportedly wasn't necessary. Shortly after these reports, Diddy faced a disciplinary issue while in prison, which could potentially extend his time behind bars depending on how the authorities handle the situation.
Well, Sean Diddy Combs facing more time behind bars. His release date pushed back to June of 2028 instead of May of that same year. The news coming after reports of Combs drinking in prison, something he denies after he was accepted into a rehab program in prison that could have reduced his sentence by up to a year. He's also been accused of making a prohibited three-way phone call from prison. Here to make sense of it all, NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas and defense attorney and friend to Top Story, Sarah Azari. Guys, thanks so much for being here, both of you. So, Chloe, I'm going to start with you. I'm being told you spoke to Combs' rep earlier. What did you learn about this issue?
Sure. So, Combs' representative, Judah Engelmeyer, telling me by phone earlier today, Tom, that yes, a three-way call was made between one of Combs' lawyers, who did bring in another person on that call with Combs while he has been at Fort Dix, but that there was nothing improper about it. But again, that is not something that you were supposed to do at all. So those lawyers should have known better. As for drinking, he doubled down and said that Combs was not drinking and that in fact he's been admitted into this very specialized rehab program that Fort Dix offers is actually going to potentially lower his sentence. Yeah. He could be released earlier because of that. So they're saying he's done nothing wrong and that any reports that he has been drinking is completely not true.
Sean Diddy Combs is setting the record straight about his life behind bars, following a report that said the rap mogul, who is serving a 4-year sentence for 2 prostitution-related convictions, was caught drinking homemade alcohol in prison. His spokesperson emphatically denies the allegation, telling People magazine in a statement published November 9th, there have been several false and reckless reports circulating about Mr. Combs. He has not violated any prison rules. His sobriety and self-discipline are priorities, and he is taking them seriously. The 56-year-old was recently transferred to a low-security correctional facility in New Jersey after spending over a year at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. At the new institution, he was alleged to have created a mixture of Fanta, sugar, and apples, which ferments into alcohol after 2 weeks, TMZ reported. The spokesperson continues, this is only his first week at FCI Fort Dix, and unfortunately, rumors will surface throughout his time there. We ask the public and press to give him the benefit of the doubt, the privacy to focus on his personal growth, and the grace to move forward.
At the same time, videos reportedly showing Diddy inside prison began circulating online. Surprisingly, in the footage, he appears relaxed and even cheerful. For many viewers, it raises questions about how he is handling life behind bars. Next voice after the footage surfaced, 50 Cent quickly reacted online, joking about Diddy's demeanor. He suggested that Diddy seemed unusually content, sparking reactions from fans and commentators curious about what the footage really reveals. Next voice 50 Cent has been openly critical of Diddy for years. During the sentencing phase, he reportedly submitted letters to the judge expressing concern about the potential risks if Diddy were released. In these letters, he highlighted his perspective on the seriousness of the case and urged the court to consider the broader implications carefully.